My name is Dior DeCupper. I'm the general manager for Upfield in the Netherlands. Upfield is one of the leaders in the world in plant-based food, and definitely the leader in plant-based spreads.
Okay, Dior, thank you very much for joining me. It's good to have you. Plant-based is very important right now. It's a trend, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. There's definitely a mega trend which started already some years ago, but which has been accelerated with the COVID crisis as people become more aware of their health and more aware of the environment.
And what do you think, Dior? Is the marketing strategy for plant-based products different than for traditional products?
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. I mean, well, in general, I think that marketing is changing and has to continue changing further for FMCG in general, for fast-moving consumer goods, where I think that FMCG marketing has been very much on traditional media, especially big brands with rather big advertising budget. It is moving towards a more 360 marketing, and 360 marketing is, of course, above the line, below the line, but also PR. And in above the line, I actually put media, digital media, of course. So for me, it's part of above the line. I'm not sure that the definition is absolutely correct. I'm actually a sales girl, but yeah, I mean, we used to be very much on TV using the traditional media, and we're moving more and more towards digital, of course, because it allows for very targeted messaging to targeted audiences. Optimizing, of course, the budget. We're moving more towards below the line, so in-store activations or actions or activations that allow us to engage with the consumers and for the consumers to actually have an experience that they link to the brand. And of course, PR, so public relations, which I believe is increasingly important as consumers tend to believe less and less the messages coming from the brands, but are more likely to believe a message that is coming from a third party about a brand. So that's one thing that is actually touching, for me, the whole FMCG world, particularly to plant-based products. I believe that plant-based products are still suffering under the belief that they're not as tasty as the meat or the dairy alternatives, and that has definitely changed. So you won't have exactly the same taste in some cases. In some cases, you actually cannot make the difference, really. But in some cases, you will have a different taste, but it is tasty. So, the time is over when plant-based products, you had to compromise on taste if you wanted to become vegan or vegetarian or eat plant-based foods. I'm not sure how much consumers are aware of this. So they need to be made aware. And the best way, of course, is trial, especially when you talk about food. So we need to enhance our ability for consumers to taste those new products. Mm-hmm. I also think that it is really important for the consumers to understand what they're eating. So, for instance, in the Netherlands, we cannot use the word butter for margarine or for a butter. For instance, we just launched a plant butter with the brand Flora. It tastes like butter. It has the same in-mouth sensation. It has exactly the same benefits performance. That means that you can spread with it, you can cook with it, you can bake with it, and the performance is just as good as dairy butter. However, we cannot say it's butter. So it's called Flora Plant. And, it may bring confusion or unclarity for the consumer who will not know what that is. If it were stipulated on the pack, it is plant butter, people would exactly know that it is butter. So it can be used as butter, but with plants in it and no dairy, so no lactose and less allergies and so on and so forth. So I think these are the two things which are extremely important for the plant-based category.
Yeah, very important to clients is also doing good. Can you explain doing good?
Yes, absolutely. So for us, doing good is quite easy, as a matter of fact, because the fact that we've got plant-based products and we're really switching all our recipes one after the other towards natural plant-based recipe is definitely doing good to our consumers in terms of their health. It's also, of course, doing good in terms of the environment. You need less water. You've got less CO2 emissions. So we're definitely, any plant-based user, consumer is doing something for their health and is doing something for the planet and the environment. So extremely important. In addition to that, Upfield has a very clear purpose, which of course is based on giving healthy, natural, plant-based, delicious, nutrition to the world, but also we have a roadmap to get out of plastic by 2025. So we're really studying how we can, so the tubs and the bottles are very much out of plastic. The wrappers as well are from alu foil. And for instance, if you take Flora, the brand that I've mentioned before, it is the first wrapper which is made out of paper. So of course it comes at a cost, and sometimes, with the humidity, the parchment wrinkles a bit, and it doesn't look as good as the other wrappers that you've got on shelf. But at least we follow our roadmap, and we're going to try to improve the parchment in order to make it as aesthetic as alu foil, still respecting the environment. And by 2025, we want to get out of plastic for the bottles and for the tubs. It's not an easy one, of course. We're seeing also other big FMCG companies like Coke and others getting into trying to make paper bottles. I think that no one has yet found the solution, and we have a plan to move our tubs to paper tubs by the end of this year. Oh, sorry, I'm already in 2021. By the end of 2021.
Yeah, Dior. Which products do you have?
Yes, of course. So we've got one of our key brands, of course, a strategic brand for us is Becel. So Becel is available as tubs, wrapper, and liquids. It is. We started by launching a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact, our first fully natural margarine in the tubs. It's the Romer, and the positioning is heart health, and it's really targeted to people in the second half of their lives. So to be able to age well. To age in a healthy manner, to be able to fully enjoy life, also in the second half of your life. We've got Becel Proactive, which has a bit of a different positioning, which is very much targeted towards cholesterol lowering. So we've got supplements and pills. We also have tubs, margarine tubs for Proactive, which significantly, when taking a certain amount, will help reduce your cholesterol. We've got Blue Band, which is one of the love brands in the Netherlands. So Blue Band is again available in tubs, in liquids, in wrappers, and soon as a plant butter in the butter shelf, and of course as creams. And soon as plant-based creams as well, in the beginning of 2021. So Blue Band is very much targeted towards families and good nutrition for kids with vitamins A and D, so it's really the family brand and very much appreciated. Then we've got Chroma, which is meat specialist, and that's the one brand that we need to look at, given our plant-based mission and how we're transforming Chroma from being a meat specialist to probably being an alternative meat specialist, to be able to support the plant-based movement as well. And of course then you've got all the brands which are known by everybody, Seus Maisje, which is a value brand, which we've just revamped and is also has a new design on the shelves. And then the last babies of the company are Flora, which I've mentioned, which is now available as plant butter in a wrapper, which will be available in creams and in spreadable butter in a tub towards the end of 2021. And then the latest one, which is an acquisition, is Violife, the cheese. So we bought, or Upfield bought, the world leader in plant-based cheese, a Greek company, which has a phenomenal growth and which is doing really, really well. Has won several prizes as the best cheese on the market. We just won, I think, the best. It's an alternative to feta, so it's a Greek cheese, completely plant-based, of course. And we just won an award literally a week ago for the best products in its category. And we're going to come up with a lot of new launches in 2021 in order to expand the plant-based cheese category.
Okay, Dior, it was so nice to have you in our show. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much, Tom.